Welcome to Kicks and Minivans, the podcast for dads, especially the ones that love sneakers. I am your host, KG, and I'm so excited for today's episode because we get to announce our very first sponsor of the Kicks and Minivans podcast, N8 Solutions. Now, you know we love chopping it up about sneakers. You can see behind me, I got the Jordan 5 UNCs. These just dropped. I hit them. I got the W on sneakers. It was my first sneakers dub of the year, and if you remember back at the beginning of the year, this was one of the two pairs I was excited for releasing this year, so I was super stoked to be able to get these, so had to throw them up there for the Kicks of the Week. We love talking sneakers. I love having guests on and them showcasing a little bit of their collection with us. We love talking sneakers. It's in the name, Kicks and Minivans, but this podcast does not exist for sneakers. That would be a little bit of a waste, to be honest. This podcast exists to help men win in marriage and parenting. It exists to help men be at their healthiest spot, to help them be their best. And in partnering with N8 Solutions, Nathan from N8, he is all about that as well. His calling is to help people be at their absolute best. One of the things that he does over at N8 Solutions is leadership coaching. And I had the privilege to be able to sit in a coaching session with him. And I went into that session feeling like there was a bunch of jumbled thoughts in my mind. I've been really going through my mind lately, thinking about, all right, what is my purpose? What is my calling? Why am I here? Why do I exist? All those big life questions, right? And not having a career, being a full-time stay-at-home dad right now, those questions come up to me a lot, man. And I'm very secure in who I am and feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be right now, raising my boys. But that's still a looming question that I have in the back of my mind all the time. And it feels like this web of thoughts, and being able to sit down with Nate in a coaching session, hearing him talk about the difference between identity and assignment and calling, talking through his coaching framework as he shows the cycle that we all find ourselves in at any given point in time. I walked out of that session, even in just an hour, feeling like things were clicking for me, feeling like I had some actual clarity and I had language to a lot of the thoughts, and I could put an action plan together, and I felt more confidence about who I am, what my calling is, what my purpose is. And just beyond the coaching, man, like I've benefited just from my friendship with Nate on a personal level. In this podcast, I'm a better man. This podcast is a better podcast because of my friendship with Nate. And so I am honored to have N8 Solutions as our first podcast on Kicks and Minivans. And I really want to encourage you, if you're in a spot where you're feeling stuck, you feel like you're not growing personally, or you're in a job that you hate, or feel like you can't make that career, maybe your identity, you feel like your identity's tied up in your career, and if you lost your job, you feel like you would lose yourself. If you're in any of those positions, it can really help to have someone to talk to. And so I encourage you to reach out to Nate, because here's the truth, man. I sign off every episode saying, take care of yourself, take care of your family. Because I believe men can take care of their families best when they take care of themselves. When men are at their best, their families are at their best. When men are at their best, their family benefits from it, their coworkers, their employees, their church, their community benefits when men are at their best, when they are in their healthiest spot. That's what the goal of this podcast is. This is what the goal of Nate is over at N8 Solutions. And so get in touch with him. Head over to n8leader.com. You can schedule a free consultation with him. Let's all get to our best, healthiest spots together. Back with another segment with my wife, Becky. This time we're doing another draft of best kids snacks. Let's go. Ladies first.
All right. I think this is like going back old school, but I'm going to start off with Dunkaroos.
No!
So you had?
Oh! Let's start over and I get first pick. Dang, that hurt. Oh,
it's a
that's a great start to the draft. All right, my number one, I'm gonna have to take the snack that smiles back. Goldfish. Goldfish, number one. Every kid loves goldfish.
Yeah.
Cheez-Its are better, but every kid loves goldfish.
It's true. I agree. I'm going to go with, since we're like going back in time, starting off, I'm going to go with a salty snack, Bugles.
Those are
You
fun.
can put them on your fingers.
Those are fun. Do like any adults eat those, or is it like purely kids that eat
I
them?
think it's purely kids because as an adult, you still want to make little witch fingers. But it's not.
Not socially acceptable.
No.
It's just
You can't
weird.
just pop it in your mouth.
It's just weird at that point. All right. You screwed up my whole draft with taking Dunkaroos from me. I had my whole game plan built around having Dunkaroos
It's a winner.
as my starter. Shoot, the rest of my board sucks. All right. My number 2 overall, gotta go with the Oreo.
Yeah.
The best store-bought cookie you can get. That's it.
Do you go with the original size Oreo?
Double stuff.
Or I was going to say mini, but double stuff is best.
Double stuffed is the best Oreo. It's the perfect ratio.
Number 3, Gushers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Those are
I did
cool
not
snacks.
have those on my board. That's a good one though. All right, I'm going a little unconventional with my third pick. I'm going to take French fries.
Is that a snack?
Are you throwing a flag?
I'm thinking about it. I mean, it's a side dish in most cases, but it's a snack for Jace.
True.
So, it is unconventional.
Are you vetoing it?
No, I'll let it slide.
All right, she'll allow it.
It's
She
a
allowed
good
it.
snack.
She allowed it.
I like to snack on some fries also. All right. Ooh. All right, I'm going to say it. Little Bites mini muffins, chocolate chip specifically.
Chocolate chip specific. I mean, the blueberries are the goats.
Chocolate chip? You can
No,
have
those
a
are good. Those are good. I didn't have those on my board either. I'm a little disappointed in my preparation for this, but I also prepped an entire episode. So, like,
I think I over prepared because I was nervous.
no, you got a good board. The mini muffins. That's a good one.
Tell me your heart didn't skip a beat when you saw someone pull those out for you to snack on.
Oh, dude, that was like day made. Like, my mom almost never bought them because we weren't like that.
You'd go through them really fast.
I have 3 sisters, dude. They'd be gone by the time she opened the box. All right. My number 4. Nothing from this category has been taken yet. I'm taking a popsicle. You gotta have some frozen treats in there. Some frozen snacky snacks. A nice refreshing snack on a hot summer day.
I didn't think about that.
You don't want no dusters. They're melted. You want that popsicle.
You're right. You need a nice ice cold snack.
I need to, like, save this draft somehow because I feel like you're slaughtering me so far.
That was a good comeback.
All
That was a
right,
good one.
go.
French fries were good too. All right, I'm going to end on a nice Rice Krispie treat.
I was thinking about taking that with my 5th.
Those are underrated.
Dude, they're so underrated. Especially, like, now you can get the, like, big Costco size one. They got the, like, little rainbow sprinkles, the chocolatey drizzle.
Oh, yeah.
The chocolate drizzle one just is, like, perfect.
Yep.
All right, for my 5th and final pick, taking the oatmeal cream pies.
I thought about
Ooh.
this, but that's a good one.
Those are, like, the only Little Debbie things that I actually enjoy.
That is a good one.
We loved those growing up, man.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw this TikTok the other day, and we gotta talk about it because this dude basically said that if you work a full-time job and you come home and spend 3 to 4 hours every night gaming, he said essentially you're neglecting your wife and kids and you're a bad dad or husband. And I kind of got to agree with him. If you are working a full-time job and you have a wife and you have kids and you come home, if you work 9 to 5 and you come home and you are gaming from like 6 to 9 or 10, like, you are absolutely neglecting your wife and kids. right? The only caveat being if like your family all games together, like if that's your thing and you're all gaming together, like I see that's bonding time, family time, like, but I feel like that's like a very small percentage of the population is in that, right? But if you are in a position where, man, like you have a wife and kids, you have responsibilities, you have a job, you have all these things going on, if you are still finding 3 to 4 hours a day to game, and that's not crazy numbers. Like I thought that was crazy numbers. Like that's not crazy numbers. I'm gonna share some stats with you in a second. And look, I'm not against video games. I love playing video games. I love my Xbox. I still have a PS2. In my opinion, the greatest console of all time. I still have a PS2 that I boot up every now and then, play some of my old school games. I love getting on playing video games. It's absolutely an outlet for me. I think every guy needs an outlet. It's an outlet for me. You know, a hard day, dude. We get the kids to bed. I'm like, hun, can I go jump on the Xbox for a half hour, an hour? Text my boy Anthony, like, bro, let's get on. Let's play some Call of Duty. Like, I think every guy needs an outlet, right? And if that's your outlet, dope, great. I'm glad you found something, but it can't be your outlet for 3 to 4 hours every single night. And that's tame for some people, right? A couple years ago, they said the average gamer spent 8 to 9 hours a week gaming, a little over an hour a day. A survey that I just found that was a study done in 2022 said that the average casual gamer now spends 13 hours a week, almost 2 hours a day for a casual gamer gaming. It said that core gamers average 29 weekly hours and hardcore gamers average 37 weekly. Bro, 37 hours a week. That's like 10 hours on Saturday and Sunday on the weekend. And still another like 2 to 3 hours a day during the week. Look, if you are spending that much time gaming, you're absolutely neglecting your family. You're absolutely neglecting them. And here's the thing, that's not just all kids. That's not just all kids. Kids should not be on video games that much too. If your kids are on video games that much, that's like a whole nother episode. But 72% of gamers are adults over the age of 18, and the average age is 33. Right? Like video games are not for kids. You know, a lot of them are, but like we think of like video games as a childish thing. But here's the thing, like I'm a millennial. Our generation was the first generation like really raised on video games, right? Like that was a part of our, like, I still remember like getting my first PS1, getting my PS2, getting my Game Boy Color, like playing Pokemon, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like all these different games. Like I remember like this was a significant part of my childhood. I probably spent way too much time on video games as a kid. But like we were the first generation. So it makes sense that, you know, the average gamer is 33 because like they've been a part of our life for so long. Right? But it's not this like video games are for kids. Like it's not just for kids anymore. Right? Like our generation as adults obviously takes gaming very seriously, enjoys it a lot, and just the technology behind it is just absolutely incredible. However, if you are spending that much time where you're averaging 20, 30, 40 hours a week gaming, bro, that is absolutely impacting other areas of your life. And here's the thing, gaming is now being cited as at least a partial cause in 15% of divorces. That's like an astronomically high amount where gaming is being cited at, like, you really want to lose your wife over gaming, bro? Like, money issues are the number one cause of divorce. Infidelity's up there. Like, but gaming, like, you get those first two. But gaming, like, why is that? And get this. There was a study by Divorce Online. This blows my mind right here. Because I don't even like this game. I tried it once, and I was like, this is ridiculous. A study by Divorce Online found that 5% of divorce petitions literally had the word Fortnite listed as the reason for divorce. Not a reason, the reason. Fortnite. Now, I'm hoping it was a typo, that it was like a reason, like a partial reason. But the study I found said it was the reason for divorce. And 5%. 5% of divorces. Like, can you imagine losing your wife and kids over Fortnite? Like, bro, are you serious right now? But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And so I'll double down on what this dude on TikTok said. Like, if you are spending 3 to 4 hours a day gaming after working a full-time job, like, you are absolutely neglecting your wife and kids. And if you just go on and game till 1 or 2 in the morning after your wife and kids are asleep and you're still getting enough sleep, like, power to you, bro. I don't know how you do that. Like, I'm crashing early every night. Like, I don't know how you do that and keep up with everything else. Hey, if that's you, like, power to you, salute. If you're gaming when your family's asleep and stuff, if you're still functional throughout the day. But, like, dude, there are too many things going on in my life, and I don't even work a full-time job. Like, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I don't have time for this. But I'm trying to be a present dad. I'm trying to be a present husband. And here's the thing. This whole issue comes down to priorities. What is the priority in your life? Because there is an infinite amount of things that you could say yes to in your life. You've probably heard it said, like, if you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else, right? And when it comes to setting priorities as a man, as a husband, as a father, what you are saying yes to matters. What you are choosing to dedicate your time, your resources, your money, your energy to matters. And if you are spending that much time on video games, you are essentially saying a lot of other things don't matter. Because here's the thing. You don't have enough time in the world to be great at everything. You don't. Like, I used to be really good at Call of Duty. Not like really good. Like, there's some people on there that's just insane. Like, but I used to be pretty good at Call of Duty. I'm trash now, bro. Like, I've had the new one, Modern Warfare 2, for like 3 or 4 months. I'm still on like the original gun you get when you get like, because I haven't leveled up enough to unlock the other stuff, because I don't have time to play enough, right? And like, I'm decent still, but like, yo, I go in there and you can tell that there are people that are on this thing for like 7 hours a day, and I'm sitting there and I'm still like, oh, I've never seen this map before. Right, like, that's just... But you don't have enough time in the world to be great at everything. You just don't. You are going to suck at something in your life. There's going to be something in your life that you suck at because there's just not enough time. You don't have 100 hours a day to spend on all these different things. And yes, you need hobbies. You need outlets for stuff like that. However, those should not be the primary thing ruling your life. That should not be the priority in your life. That should be an outlet. That should be a secondary thing. Like, incorporate time for that, but let it have its place, because you don't want to be good at that at the sake of something else. Right? You don't have enough time to be great at everything. You're going to suck at something. And so this is the thing that changed my life. This is a phrase, I think I heard John Acuff. I think he's the one that I first heard say this. Choose what you suck at. You're going to suck at something. You don't have enough time to be great at everything. So choose what you suck at. Building priorities in your life essentially is saying, like, I'm going to choose to be great at these, and I'm going to choose to suck at these. Because if you don't choose intentionally in advance what you're going to suck at, life's going to choose it for you. And I don't want to be great at video games, but suck at being a husband. I don't want to be great at keeping up with TV shows and suck at being a dad. I don't want to be great at collecting sneakers and suck at building wealth for my family. Right? And so these things, they're good, they're fine, but don't let them have priority. Choose what you're going to be good at. Choose what you're going to suck at, right? So for me, I've chosen in this season of life to suck at video games. I buy like maybe 1 or 2 games a year. I probably spend about an hour or 2 a week playing Xbox. Maybe not even that. Like, I choose in this season of life to just suck at video games. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I choose in this season of life to suck at keeping up with the NFL. I'm a diehard sports fan. Go Sixers, go Eagles. I'm from Philly. I love my Philly teams. I used to keep up with all the NBA, all the NFL, and I try to keep up with the NBA a little bit more. I like basketball a little more than football. But like, I just have chosen in this season of life to suck at keeping up with football. Right? Like, if I had it my way, like a dream ideal weekend in the fall is watching college football all day Saturday, watching the NFL all day Sunday, right? Like, that would be like a dream weekend for me in the fall. Now it's like I might catch part of the Eagles game on Sunday. If I got time on Saturday, I might catch part of the Michigan game. But like, that's about it for me for football. I got asked last year by a couple people like, hey, you want to join our fantasy football team? And I used to love doing stuff like that. Bro, I don't know if I could tell you 15 players outside of Eagles players. I don't know if I could tell you 15 or 20 players in the league right now. It's just, I can't hold that conversation because I don't have time to keep up with that. I've chosen to suck at following the NFL right now for the sake of other things. Right? Here's something I choose to suck at, and I want to suck at it. I don't enjoy this at all, and this is a dad podcast. I might get some flack on this one. I suck at taking care of my lawn. I absolutely suck at lawn maintenance. Number one, I don't enjoy it whatsoever. Those of you that get satisfaction and fulfillment from it, power to you. That ain't me, bro. I do not want to spend a minute of my day outside mowing the grass, cutting weeds, trimming hedges. I hate that work, bro. I absolutely hate it. Now, I appreciate a freshly cut lawn. I want my grass to be short. I don't care that it looks like, the best yard on the block. I just don't want to be the worst one on the block. But the best summers of my life have been summers where I paid someone else to cut my grass, or I lived in an apartment complex and I didn't have to worry about it at all. Right? Like, those were the best summers of my life. I hate taking care of the grass. But I'm not spending 6 hours out there on a Saturday manicuring my lawn, giving each blade of grass individual attention. It's like, nah, man, I'll go out there, I'll buzz through it, get it to be presentable, and then I'm done. Right? But it's like, I could choose if I wanted to go out and have the best yard on the street. That ain't a priority to me, bro. Like, that's something that I'm choosing to suck at. In life, you have to choose what you're going to suck at. But because I've chosen to suck at video games, I got time to spend with my wife every single night after the kids go to bed. Because I choose to suck at keeping up with the NFL, I can choose to spend and invest time into this podcast. Because I choose to suck at certain things, I could choose to be a more intentional and present father. I can choose to keep up with my fitness and keep up with my health. I can choose to do all of these things that are bringing me life and fulfillment because I'm choosing what I'm going to suck at. If I didn't make that intentional choice, then these other things could just fill my time up, fill my calendar up. And so you need to choose what you're going to be great at, which means you're going to have to choose what you're going to suck at. But put the first things first, man. What's most important to you, let that dictate and be reflected in your calendar, in your bank account. Like, don't have your calendar and bank account reflecting that video games are the most important thing in your world. Like, they're fine, they're good. Let them be an outlet for you. Let them be a hobby for you. Don't neglect your wife. Don't neglect your kids for the sake of video games or anything else for that matter. Don't neglect them for football. Don't neglect them for basketball. Don't neglect them for whatever it is, man. It could be the gym taking their place. If you're spending 2 to 3 hours a day working out after work instead of spending time with your wife and kids, man, like, don't neglect the most important things in your life for these other things. Choose what you're going to be great at. Choose what you're going to suck at. Put the first things first. Have your priorities in line. The drop for this week, evaluate your time. If you sat down and you marked out hours that you spent this week on ABC, XYZ, what would be reflected in that number 1, number 2, number 3 spot? What would someone looking at your calendar, what would they say is a priority in your life? And are you happy with that? Are you content with where you have your priorities listed right now? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Maybe you need to reevaluate. And this might be a need. Sit down and have a conversation with your wife, not to start an argument, but to really listen with the intent to change. Sit down and ask your wife if gaming or if whatever other thing has taken too much time in your life. Ask if you're spending too many hours on the PlayStation. Ask if you're spending too many hours watching basketball games. Ask if you're spending too many hours at the gym. Whatever it is that you think might be causing a conflict, sit down and ask your wife, like, hey, am I spending too much time here? Would you like me to cut back? And be open to her feedback on that. Because what I have to say doesn't really matter, but what she has to say matters more than what anyone else has to say. So have that conversation. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Thanks for tuning in to Kicks and Minivans. Follow us on Instagram at Kicks and Minivans. Drop us a review, a thumbs up, a 5-star, whatever it is, wherever you're listening. We appreciate you tuning in and joining us for this week's episode of Kicks and Minivans.